Live from your local election headquarters at the 22 News Broadcast Center, this is a Chicopee Mayoral Forum. And now, here's Rich Teddemer.
Good afternoon and welcome to a special Your Election Headquarters presentation. I am Rich Teddemer, and all this week 22 News is hosting a series of forums featuring candidates running for mayor in local cities. Today 22 News is hosting the candidates running for mayor of Chicopee. We're joined in the studio by Mayor John Vieau and City Councilor Delmarina Lopez. And we're going to begin with opening statements. Each candidate will have 1 minute to make that opening statement, and the order of the opening statements was determined by a drawing before the program. Mayor Vieau will go first.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you, 22 News, and thank you, Councilor Lopez, for joining me today. I'm really excited about running for re-election. I've served the city council, I've served the city for 25 years, 5 years on the planning board, 16 years on the city council, 4 years as city council president, and now 4 years as mayor. And frankly, there's a lot of progress that still needs to be made. We're committed to public safety. We're committed to making sure that the city of Chicopee continues to thrive. We're in excellent financial situations right now, and the goal is just to continue that progress. COVID-19 really took up 2 years of that time of uncertainty, and now the progress is really starting to show itself with revitalization downtown and focus on properties like Uniroyal and Cabottville moving forward.
Councilor Lopez, your opening statement, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you also to Mayor John Vieau for joining me this morning. My name is Delmarina Lopez. I am a city councilor. I represent Ward 3 on the council. I've done one term for 2 years on the council, and I am very excited to be running to be your next mayor. I'm also an educator and an attorney and a small business owner. I have a small business where I am a consultant, and I help everyday small businesses and mid-sized businesses, get their feet wet and get off the ground and get started and thrive. And that goes really well. It folds into my work as a counselor and hopefully as your next mayor. Every single day, my passion for small businesses is not only exhibited in the work that I do, but continues to be exhibited as I watch Chicopee continue to grow. And I think that together we could do a lot more to help Chicopee grow. So I'm hoping that you'll give me your vote so that I could be your next mayor. I think it's time for a fresh perspective and some new leadership. The city deserves new leadership.
Okay, candidates, we now move on to the question and answer section of our program. I will ask each candidate the same question, and each candidate will then have 1 minute to respond. There is no time set aside for rebuttal. We'll get to the first question, which, by virtue of a drawing, Councilor Lopez will get to answer first. Here we go, Councilor. Crime is a big concern in cities across the country, and Chicopee is no exception. Neighboring Springfield and Holyoke have both seen surges in gun violence this year. As mayor for the next 2 years, what would you do to ensure city residents feel safe, both from violent and property crime?
Thank you. So I think crime in Chicopee looks a little different than it does in other cities. And so crime is up around the country. That's no secret. We all know that. And I can't fault Chicopee for that increase of crime because it's happening everywhere. However, I can say that we are not doing enough to stay on top of it. We don't have enough officers right now. The current administration has not nearly done enough to make sure that we recruit new talent and retain our talent. We are at a place where we've lost over 7 officers in the last 6 weeks, and we continue to lose officers every week, and that's unacceptable. We have a hard time hiring officers because the current administration has refused to give the starting officers a raise that they deserve. And it is important for us to be investing and not just say that we're investing in public safety, but to actually put our money where our mouth is. Guns are an issue, drugs are an issue, but pedestrian safety is an even larger issue here in Chicopee. And I think it's important for us to recognize that that is crime and that we need to be addressing that head on, and we should have been addressing it months ago when people started dying on our streets, and our residents have been talking about it for months, for years at this point, and the current administration has just not done enough.
Mayor Vieau, your answer, please.
Yeah, thank you, Rich. The city of Chicopee is committed to public safety. Public safety, in my opinion, is paramount to our success. I came into office 4 years ago. We negotiated in good faith. We have a great contract with the PD, and we're looking forward to negotiating another new contract. But I believe in curtailing violent crime in Chicopee is really going to be focused on our youth. We've created a junior police academy. We have probably over 120 kids who are enrolled in our junior ROTC program. The goal is to educate the kids and let them know that the police are their friend and build those positive relationships like we do at National Night Out. The police department has every tool that they need to not just keep themselves safe, but to keep the city of Chicopee safe. That's our goal here in the city. I want people to put their head down on their pillow and feel safe at night, and we're committed to doing that.
Mayor Vieau, you get the next question first. Pedestrian safety has been a concern in Chicopee following multiple deadly crashes, particularly in the Chicopee Street and Dee Bridge areas. The Chicopee City Council voted last week to reduce the speed limit on Chicopee Street to 25 miles per hour. And just last night, the city accepted $50,000 in state funding to make roads and sidewalk improvements. Do you think the recent efforts will make a difference to prevent deadly crashes, or do you think more needs to be done? And if so, what would you do as mayor?
Thank you, Rich. It's a great question. This all started back around Thanksgiving of last year. We had a fatality with a pedestrian on Chicopee Street, and frankly, there were a few others as well. And condolences to the family members and loved ones who lost someone. And it's just a very sad thing. I lost some sleep over it, but we immediately reacted. We went to the City Council with a $200,000 proposal and a preliminary safety improvement project, and we really included everyone. We talked to the residents, we talked to the city councilors, we talked to the school committee members, any stakeholders to look for those areas of high volume pedestrian crossings, and worked to install the rapid flashing beacons. The goal was to protect those who, when they cross the street. We've also invested another $476,000 into those improvements along Chicopee Street and frankly throughout other areas of the city. Pedestrian safety is paramount to our success, and we want to make sure that people, when they're behind the wheel, your primary concern is driving that vehicle.
Councilor Lopez, your answer, please.
Thank you. So I just want to be clear that this does not start around Thanksgiving of last year. This has been years in the making. Our residents have been complaining and bringing all of their concerns to the council and to the mayor for years at this point about pedestrian safety. That is, around Thanksgiving of last year is when the first fatality happened, of the back-to-back fatalities that have happened. And yes, it is very sad and it is very concerning. I think any of us who are public officials in any capacity have lost sleep over that, but saying that we've lost sleep is not enough. We actually need to be taking action, and we did not take immediate action. When those of us on the council who've been taking action, like Councilor Cushane and myself, who've been wanting to make sure that Chicopee Street is as safe as possible. That's why we are proposing to reduce the speed limits there. We asked for flashing beacons. In the current administration, during live meetings, the mayor said that, flashing beacons are not going to stop cars. It's not going to keep people from dying, and that's disrespectful. We're trying to every possible option to keep people alive. We should have been trying, and we have not been trying. And so there needs to be more efforts. It's great that we're setting some money aside, that the state delegation has been setting money aside, but what is the city doing? Not enough.
Councilor Lopez, you get to answer the next question first. Nearly $227,000 in medical and dental insurance premiums were mistakenly paid out of pocket over an 8-year period to Chicopee City employees who were either retired or deceased. The city has been able to recover about half of that through reimbursement so far. What do you think caused this problem, and what do you think needs to be done to ensure that a mistake like this doesn't happen again?
Thank you. So, this is a blatant mismanagement. At the end of the day, there are other departments in the city who are responsible for it, and we still have not gotten a clear answer as to who it fell under. The council has asked multiple times, and we've not gotten an answer as to who was supposed to reconcile the bills, whose fault it actually is. All that the current administration has done is given some press conference that they didn't even notify the councilors about, and some report that we have yet to see publicly. It's not been published to the public, even though they said that they would. I received that report from the press, not from the current administration, and as I read that report says nothing. It's, when you are accused of mismanagement, when your administration is accused of mismanagement, an external audit needs to occur. I don't trust your own audit of yourself when you're the one who made the mistake. And so it's unfortunate that this has happened. This should not have happened. We should have been on top of this. And unfortunately, the current administration has not been. We still don't have answers. The public still doesn't have answers about how their money was mismanaged. They threw out a bunch of different figures about how much money was spent, but we don't know the real numbers yet. We need an external audit.
Mayor Vieau, your answer, please.
Yeah, thank you. First, let's talk about health insurance premiums. These are managed by the people who work at City Hall, and this whole issue has been sensationalized by my opponent for political gain. There's no secret that mistakes were made, but this is a systematic issue that goes back 8 years. When I found out about the problem, it was immediately brought. When it was brought to my attention, I was told them that we need to address it immediately. This issue is, again, there was about $225,000. It took a lot of time to go through it. This is health premiums for nearly 4,000 employees and retirees. Irresponsibly, the city councilor and 4 members tried to cut the entire premium out of the budget. The goal is to just make sure that we do things right. We're going to be the first community to implement a platform that's going to make sure this never happens again. Our goal is to making sure we're very frugal with our tax dollars, and this has been sensationalized to the point where, please understand, audits are conducted every year by outside auditors and also by the state of Massachusetts.
Mayor Vieau, you get the next question first. Revitalizing downtown Chicopee has been a big priority for many years, and one piece of that has been the redevelopment of the Cabottville Mills on Front Street. The building had been planned to be converted into apartments, but those plans were scrapped by the then owner of the property in 2021, and the existing businesses inside the mills were later forced out due to safety concerns. The building sold at auction this past summer. As mayor, how would you work with the owners over the next 2 years to ensure meaningful improvements are made that will benefit downtown development?
Sure, Rich, it's a great question. I'm a certified real estate appraiser, and real estate is my passion. I do wear the hat of the economic development director, and I work with the planning department and also the community development director. We have a great team. Cabottville is it's been a disappointment. Our downtown is really thriving right now. We're going to reactivate the Central Library using ARPA funds. We're going to turn that into a very special place for pop-up venues and for people to actually learn some ideas on how to be a successful entrepreneur and how to run a business. But Cabottville, we're excited about the new ownership. We're looking to find out what direction they want to go in. There's 770,000 square feet of redevelopment potential that really is a key component to the downtown, and we're excited and looking forward to working with the new owners. It's no secret that the downtown is really in a renaissance right now, and we're excited about the direction it's heading in. And I see Cabottville as just a key component, and working with them is going to be a top priority to the success of our downtown and moving forward.
Councilor Lopez, your answer, please.
Thank you. Myself and some of the councilors have been working actively against slumlords and making sure that our community is safe. You know, we had some issues with Silver Brick, and we're glad to see that, you know, some of these big buildings in our city that need to be, you know, revamped, revitalized, that people are taking interest in it. We want people to take interest in our city. However, you know, these big businesses and these big buildings are just a small component. For me, it's also important to, you know, continue to pay attention and put our dollars towards small businesses. Small businesses are actually the backbone of our economy. They're the ones who make our city thrive. They're oftentimes residents who also have small businesses here. And to me, that's even more important. You know, I want to make sure that whatever the plan is for this building that these new developers that come in have, that it includes small businesses, that it makes sure that it's not just coming into Chicopee, but it becomes a part of the community and the culture that we have in our downtown. Our downtown has amazing bones, and I'm really excited to continue to work with the small business owners. We can't take credit as a city for the work that they're doing. They're doing this on their own. They've chosen Chicopee, and I'm really thankful to have them.
Okay, candidates, we're at the halfway point of today's forum. We're going to take a short break, and then after that, we'll have more questions and answers from the candidates running for mayor of Chicopee. You're watching a special Your Election Headquarters presentation right here on 22 News.
You're watching the Chicopee Mayoral Forum. Here's Rich Teddemer.
Welcome back. Today, 22 News is hosting a forum among the candidates running for mayor of Chicopee. We're joined by incumbent Mayor John Vieau and his challenger, City Councilor Delmarina Lopez. We'll continue with questions for the candidates, and Councilor Lopez will be the first to answer this next question. A new superintendent of schools has taken office in Chicopee this academic year following a lengthy search. The mayor, of course, serves as a member of the city school committee. How would you work over the next 2 years with the new superintendent to improve the quality of education for students in the city?
Thank you, Rich. I'm actually very excited to work with Dr. Ware. Dr. Ware's resume seems very promising. I've had numerous conversations with Dr. Ware, and I'm really excited about the direction that the city is headed with under Dr. Ware's leadership. I'm excited to work with him. You know, I understand education very well. I'm an educator myself, and I've gone through numerous years of education not that long ago, so I understand the pulse of the schools in recent years. And I'm just very excited to work with him to engage the community, engage the parents, and make sure that, you know, we get our schools back on track. You know, some of our schools are doing well, but it's no secret that we've had an issue with retaining and attracting new teachers. We are underpaying our teachers, underpaying our paras, and again, this is another instance of the current administration not making sure that we're paying our employees appropriately. And so I'm excited to work with him to get our teachers paid what they deserve, to get our paras paid what they deserve, and to ensure that every student has a quality education. I had an amazing education here in Chicopee, and I want for our students to have that same amazing education that I had the privilege of having.
Mayor Vieau, your answer, please.
Sure. Thank you, Rich. Like Councilor Lopez, I also am a product of Chicopee Public Schools, and it's something I'm very proud of. I believe that our district is one of the best in Western Mass. I'm excited at the direction we're heading in, and contrary to what's been said by Councilor Lopez, our schools are fully funded. They have $11 million in their stabilization account. There's a whole new dynamic with Dr. Marcus Ware and his admin team. I'm excited at the direction we're heading in, and just for clarity, none of our school district has never been close to heading into receivership. These are claims made by City Councilor Lopez that are just frankly not true. The district we're committed to comfortable, safe learning environments for our students. We've been providing them for years. We're close to having air conditioning, not just in our classrooms, but also in the large venues of every single school, making sure those students have everything they need to be successful. That's what the City of Chicopee School District's all about. And working with Dr. Marcus Ware, it's really been a privilege, and I'm excited for where we're heading. Again, there's a new dynamic at the school district that I'm very excited about. Thank you.
Mayor Vieau, you get the next question first. Massachusetts continues to see a growing number of migrants arrive in our state, and Chicopee is among the communities where migrants are being given temporary shelter. How would you characterize the city's response, and do you think the city and the school system would be able to accommodate more new arrivals if requested by the state?
So it's a great question, Rich. The City of Chicopee first is committed first and foremost to the residents and the people who live here in our city and our students in our school district. But it's no secret that we do have some migrants that are living in one of our hotels. These immigrants and refugees, you know, we're treating them with dignity and respect, and we're very fortunate as a city. We have a partnership, the state has a partnership with Valley Opportunity Council, making sure that they're getting their paperwork in order and helping them to be productive members of our city. I believe Chicopee is doing its fair share. This hotel is full. It's a contract between the hotel owner and a contract between the state, and we're very fortunate, like I said, to have VOC helping with the transition of these immigrants and refugees who came to Chicopee for the opportunities that we all have. So they are in the right place in America, and it is the land of opportunity. But again, we are focused on the residents of Chicopee, and I do believe we're doing our fair share.
Councilor Lopez?
Thank you. So part of that question was about education as well, and I want to also address some of the comments that were just made by the incumbent mayor. So our schools are, according to the accountability report, we've had 2 schools that are in turnaround state. And when you're at the turnaround stage, that is literally a couple steps away from receivership. And so we do need to address that. You know, this administration continues to avoid accountability. You know, we heard him respond to my health insurance comments and say that, you know, this is being sensationalized. And it's another attempt at this administration to downplay what's actually actually happening. We need a leader who will take accountability for what's happening and who will be transparent. In terms of what the migrants and refugees who are entering our city, the kind of impact that has on our community, sure, it's great that people want to be here, that they want to be in Chicopee, that they want, access to the American dream, and we want that for people. We want people to have the American dream the way we have, but it absolutely does have a strain on our schools and on our infrastructure and on everything in the city, and we need to address that head on. And if we're not even addressing the state in which our schools are currently and putting our money where our mouth is and taking care of the professionals, not just the profession, then we're not doing right by anyone in the city.
Councilor Lopez, you do get the next question first. Chicopee's mayor serves a 2-year term, but the Charter Review Committee this year recommended switching to a 4-year term for mayor and also lengthening the term for at-large members of the city council to 4 years as well. Do you favor lengthening the terms for both mayor and councilors, or just for mayor, or just for councilors, or keeping everyone at 2-year terms?
Thank you. So just to be clear, the Charter Review Commission did not propose that we extend a 4-year term for city councilors at large. That was a recommendation made by Mike Pease during public input. Mike Pease serves as the chief of staff for the mayor, but his comments were of his own, according to him during that statement. So those were not recommendations by the Charter Review Commission. The Charter Review Commission did, in fact, recommend to increase the mayoral term to 4 years. However, I think that should be up to the people. I think the people should be able to decide. And so currently there's a non-binding referendum that is going to be showing up during the ballot this season on November 7th. However, I was not in favor of it going on the ballot this season because, number one, we have a higher turnout during elections that have a presidential candidate on the ballot. And number two, I felt that it was rushed. And a lot of times this happens on the council and with the city in general, where we go through things and we rush through things and we don't give the city enough time to be educated about the actual decision. I don't think many of our residents even understand that this is non-binding. They don't understand, what actually will be the outcome of this question, and I just don't think it was an appropriate way to survey.
Mayor Vieau?
Yes, I've always been a proponent of being accountable every 2 years, but sitting in the seat for 4 and really dealing with the first term with the COVID-19 pandemic, and then second term, the new normal, and just starting to get that progress rolling again, you find that it's just too short of a period. So in 2019, I sat in this seat in this forum and mentioned that clearly I was in favor of holding mayors accountable or elected officials accountable every 2 years, but sitting in the office really with all the things that the mayor's office deals with on a day-to-day basis and just trying to continue that progress, I do believe that it's in our best interest of the city to consider the 4-year term. It is on the ballot. It is a non-binding question, and it's really up to the constituency and the residents of Chicopee to make that decision. It's not up to me. I've been serving for 20 years, and I believe in accountability every 2, but if it did change to a 4-year term, that'd be something I think would be in the best interest of Chicopee moving forward.
Mayor Vieau, you get the next question. Chicopee is home to Westover Air Reserve Base, which is, of course, a major driver of the local economy. While responsibility for the base itself and the decision whether to expand the base, close the base, or make any other changes rests with the federal government, the city of Chicopee does have a role to play. As mayor, what would you do to make sure that Westover continues to thrive?
Well, Westover has been a partner of the city of Chicopee since I've been elected in office, and I've always had a great relationship with base commanders over the last 4 years. And one thing I can say is that Westover is committed to staying here. They right now are building a brand new state-of-the-art hangar. There are 8 C-5Ms that are stationed at Westover, and they are going to be the maintenance facility for the entire fleet across the entire world. We're really excited about that. There's also been investments at Westover that means they're here to stay. They've got a state-of-the-art fire department. They have a state-of-the-art shooting range that we use as the city uses for its law enforcement division, and that partnership for Westover is something very special. The downsizing of Westover was something that really created an economic development base all around the base, so we're excited about what that's done for our economy. It's helped to keep taxes low in Chicopee. So that partnership with Westover we're helping to continue for many years.
Councilor Lopez.
Yeah, I'm grateful to have Westover in our community. You know, I come from a family that has many folks who serve in the Army and the Navy and the Marines. And, you know, it's not just about Westover as a place, it's also about what it does for our community. And we're a very veteran-rich community. You know, for me, it's important for us to continue to support our veterans, to continue to support folks who are currently serving. They're an integral part of our community, and everyone knows that here. You know, we're very proud of folks who serve. I'm thankful for their service, but most importantly, I want to make sure that we continue to support them. And, you know, our veterans deserve all the support from the city. They've done their time. They've done more than their duty. And we need to continue to support them with tax incentives. We have a tax work-off program for veterans currently that I don't think was planned and thought out as well as it could have been. You know, we could be doing more for our veterans. And I'm committed to not just continuing to work with Westover so that we have a base that it continues to be a thriving part of our community, but to also support our current members who serve in the armed forces and to support our veterans who choose Chicopee as their home even after serving their time at Westover and beyond.
Candidates, here comes our last question. You each have 1 minute to respond. Councilor Lopez, you go first. Massachusetts is in a housing crisis with a shortage of available homes for sale or rent causing prices to skyrocket. And while housing in Western Massachusetts is less expensive than in the Boston area, many people in our area are still struggling to find a place to live that they can afford. As mayor, what would you do to help people looking for affordable housing and to help current residents stay in their homes?
Yeah, thank you. And that goes really well with our last question about the veterans and the tax work-off program. You know, I want our seniors to be able to stay in their homes as well. You know, they're on fixed incomes, and many times, you know, their taxes go up, but their income does not go up. And what does that mean? That means that they find themselves unable to, you know, put food on their table or to, you know, have little things that we might view as, you know, just like something that brings you joy. But really for them, it's just being able to live a quality life. And they've done their time. You know, our veterans have also done their time, and they deserve to have lower taxes. They deserve to have incentives because they've paid their duty to the community. They've paid their duty to their country. And, you know, other people deserve to come into our community. I'm committed to having a city that welcomes all and committed to have. I thought it was a minute.
It seemed shorter than that, didn't
yeah,
it? Mayor Vieau, your answer, please.
Yes. First and foremost, let me say that we're a veteran-proud city. We've always been a veteran-proud city, and it goes way beyond my administration. And we also I believe in taking care of our older adults. So keeping people in their houses is also critical to the success of our city. We don't want people leaving. We don't want to lose our talent. But affordable housing and bringing housing stock to Chicopee, a lot of it's done by the private sector. We're here to partner with the state and the city to help them create those units. We have partnerships with VOC. They're building out the Southwick School into 19 mixed-use units that'll be affordable and market rate units. We've taken care of some properties downtown that have been blight and now are 4 beautiful residential units.
Thank you very much. We were running out of time. I apologize. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to the candidates for appearing today. Tomorrow we'll have the candidates running for mayor of Westfield. If you missed any of this forum, you can watch it again on wwlp.com. Have a great day. See ya.